everybody, and welcome to a special episode of All About African Violets. All About African Violets is musically sponsored by Ted Yoder. You can hear and purchase his wonderful music on his website at tedyoder.com. It is also available from iTunes. Hi everybody, come on into my sunroom. It's a sunny day here in Chicagoland. It's Sunday morning and it's 2 weeks after National. So we last saw each other when I kind of gave you the part 3 of the Road to National, and you guys watched my Fresh Air and my Santee Sioux go to the national show in Nashville this year. And boy, it was so much fun. We had such a wonderful time. And I did shoot some footage there, and really, let's just jump right into tips and treasures, because that's what I'm going to share with you today. Is we're going to walk through the national show. Now, I think that the footage is a little bit dark, and I apologize for that. Sometimes, you know, when you're in a big hotel with a big room with the lights a certain way, you don't always have good control over that. And so I did the best I could. I think that you'll still enjoy it, and you'll see some phenomenal plants. So it's about a 20-minute walkthrough. So let's go take a look, and I'll see you on the other side. Hi everybody. I tried to pick a relatively quiet time to walk us through the national show. So it's going to be very much like last year. I am just going to slowly walk up and down the aisles. Look at the size of this Buckeye Colossal. Whoa, it's gigantic. It's one of Sandy Skalski's plants. Some beautiful Cajuns from Belinda Thibodeau, who is the hybridizer of the Cajun series. A beautiful Picasso. These are all standards that we're seeing. And I'm gonna speed up just a little. Here are some trailers. And here we are with some minis. And guys, these are all collections. What we've just seen were all collections of 3 plants. And now I'm going to walk around. Here's collections of trailers, which I love to see. Some really gorgeous ones. That is a big one. That's Mangagensis. Velutina, which I have never grown successfully. And here we go with the Holtkamp collections, small ones. And Rob's collections. And Russian collections. Okay, hang on, I'm just... A lovely couple just let me walk in front of them so that you guys could keep watching. Thank you, you guys. All right. Now, here we go. Over here. We're up to class 12.
I know Richard Naples.
Here's Santee Sioux. And here's Fresh Air.
Read that one.
This is always a popular one, Ukako. With the green and lavender. Chimera. Here's someone else's roulette. Mine's going to go to Illinois next week.
There's 2. We're discussing. We were just discussing. See?
Again, good. What do you get? You have a big man?
It's really amazing when you see plants of this quality. There are no white ribbon plants in this show. There are a few red ribbons, but no white ones. Here's some buckeyes. Really big plants. And hang on, and we'll pick up in just a moment. Okay, here we go. We've just rounded that corner. Everybody's here taking photos, so trying to give each other space. Some big standards here. Really beautiful. And here's someone's Jersey snowflakes. I'm hoping mine looks this good next year. And now this one is very interesting. Guys, this is Lion's Black Magic, and I've seen plants do this before with a row of the green and then a heavily variegated row, but I've never seen it this extreme before. It's really striking, isn't it? And here we are with some minis.
Yeah, I have to admit some blame, definitely, no question.
Yep.
But I can just
Hey.
tell it's
Want to say hi to the podcast?
Hi, podcast.
Guys, that's Bob Clark.
Again.
Had to stop to have a conversation with Bob Clark. Guys, he's a great guy. All right, here we go. We're looking at semis, if I'm not mistaken. All beautiful. Here's a particular favorite, Honey Blue Ace. Really a beautiful plant.
That's the one you're going to want to go with.
Might be the same spots they already had.
And I think now we're looking at minis again. Well, it's hard for me to tell unless I look at the class cards, but we're in the minis now. Here, and now we're back to semis. Really interesting plants. And walking around. Got a few more aisles here. And then I'll show you the honor court. This is a really great specimen of Nessus Satin Rose. One that, as you know, I've attempted to grow in the past and actually not been successful with. Oh, and for those of you who might be in Illinois, members of IAVS, the Illinois African Violet Society, this is Jolly Marvel, and this is the Helen Rhodes Memorial Plant for 2015. So, source the plant, start growing it, get ready for show for next year.
I've taken more than I can begin to even count.
And we're going to roll over here. Here we are, some more semis. And here we are, standard trailers. Some really interesting ones. This Ramblin' Amethyst, very heavily variegated. Fancy Trail, also very variegated. Mountain Mist Trail. Here are the miniature trailers. This is a really big Pixie Blue. And this is one called Captain Cook. Rob's Boolaroo. Rob's Gallowincle. Winku, Rob's Boolaroo again. Baby Brian, one I've also tried to grow, and in fact, I think I picked up another plant of it this year, and I'm going to give it another try. Lots of trailers. And here are some species plants. these are the vintage violets. That means that these plants were, they're at least 25 years old, meaning these they were hybridized and registered at least 25 years ago. Another great big satin rose. Wow. And these are seedlings, new introductions from amateur hybridizers. Really wonderful stuff. And these are sports or mutants. And this is a class that's usually in every show called the unusual container, and it has a violet in a container, such like you might have, decoratively in your home. And they had a separate section for trailers in a container. And here we are, other gesneriids, and these are syninges. And more syninges. Calarias, some streptocarpus. Shaking. Oh, gotta take a photo. And some more streps over here. Some calumnias, always one of my favorites. This is a pretty one, Calumnia yellowbird. Primulinas. Apicius. More primulinas. Here are some variegated straps, very beautiful. Petrocosmias, primulinas. All different kinds. And now this is, what you're going to see now is the commercial division. These are people who raise and or hybridize plants for a living. And these are the collections. And this is Kent Storr's collection. It was the best AVSA commercial collection. And these are all of three of his hybrids, Singin' the Blues, Wisdom, and Smooch Me, always a favorite. And here's someone's Zima obeatia that they have in the show. And I have to say that the symmetry on this one, much better than on mine. And this is the Holt Camp collection. This is the third best new cultivar called Donna's Mother's Love. This is the second best new cultivar, High Expectations. And this is the best new cultivar, Hawaiian Cloud. And that's Paul Serrano Linden Lyons plant. We've got one more row over here. And these again are other gesneriids. Again, the commercial division. Some streptocarpus here. Really interesting one called German. Another interesting one called Harlequin Dawn. Some new hybrids here. And some old favorites. There's a species, and then we're here with some semis. And here started beginning the dish gardens, so I'm going to stop because that's part of the design division, and I'm going to hopefully Joyce will be able to go through that design division with us. So let's walk over and we'll see the Court of Honor. Well, here we are at the Court of Honor, and I'll back up in a moment and give you the whole overview, but this is the best miniature, and it's precious red. And this is the best semi. And it is Jersey Sugar Plums. And this is the best standard and second best plant in show, E.K. Goloboglazia Rosia. My Russian not so good, so that was a phonetic pronunciation. And then this is the third best in show and also best trailer. And this is Rob's Boolaroo, and boy is it gorgeous. It is this big. I mean, look, here's my hand, and that's how big. The plant is gigantic. It is just huge. And this is the best other Gesnerian, and it's Nautilus calyx grandulifera. And this is the best plant in the show. And this is Sandy Skalski's, this is a species plant, folks. It's Orbicularis verpurpurea, best species and best in show. Really gorgeous. Let me just back up here and kind of give you the overview as best I can. Violet pickin' in Tennessee. Here we go. I'll be right back. Guys, there are a couple of other sections in a convention show that we don't have in a local affiliate show. We do have this one, though. This is the educational exhibit, and this is a gorgeous one. I'm going to show you a few others. Hang on, and I'll be right back. Now, in a convention show, the commercials have the opportunity to do a showcase, and this is a showcase. Some really lovely plants. This is another showcase. And this was the best showcase, and it's quite lovely. And then this is display table, and again, this is for commercials. And I know that these are a lot of work. They show so many plants here. Really amazing. Wonderful stuff. And there's one other section in a convention show, and it's the newsletter and yearbook class, and I'll go and show that to you now. Here we are. So the section is called Affiliate Publications Exhibit, and we have yearbooks, which many clubs do. My club when I was a member in Ventura, we always had a yearbook every year. And then there are newsletters. And magazines. All right, I'll be back shortly. Wow. It was so much fun. It was so busy this year. To me, it just seemed like it was really constantly going. And I had a wonderful time. I loved the Grand Ole Opry. I'm not particularly a country music fan, except for back in the day, kind of more classic country people like Dolly Parton and the Oak Ridge Boys and Ronnie Milsap and Reba McEntire, those kind of folks. But I've always kind of liked Marty Stewart, and he was one of the hosts on one of the segments. And it was just wonderful. Had such a great time. And in fact, I'm taping his television show now because I liked it so well. But, I thought you might find it interesting after seeing that gorgeous show. I can't say that this is the same for everybody, and I did do things a little bit differently this time when I came home. because I did not disbud at the show, which I normally would have done for Fresh Air and Santee Soup, but I wanted to take them to the Illinois State Show. So I thought that you might be interested to see what happens when you get home. It's not very pretty. Take a look. Well, hi guys, home from National. Sometimes I really think it's important for you guys to see what happens after a really wonderful convention, and this one was really phenomenal. Welcome to my kitchen. I kind of exploded in here. Here are the show plants resting in their boxes out here in the kitchen. This is a box of design things. I did not enter design, but I talked with my friend Joyce Stork about it, and I managed to go to the store, bought some produce, and here's the counter. It's time to get started. So I'll check back in with you guys on this project, and you'll see how it's going. And there's the stand in the sunroom. This stand is going to become the isolation stand. I'm going to move all the plants that are there now into the guest room or down to the basement, and everything new is going to hang out there in the sunroom. All right, I'll check back. Well, it is Monday morning, and I wanted to show you guys the progress from last night. I stayed up late, and here are all the leaves that I put down last night, and I've just mixed up another batch of potting mix, and I'm about to mix up a gallon of fertilizer, and I'm going to get started on repotting all of these plantlets into my own mix. Actually, all of these and all of these, and these two little sweet Optimara plants that were table favors on the last night at National. So all right, I'll check back in. Well, guys, it's been quite a day. It's Monday evening now, a little before 7. I still have 10 plants left to pot into my own mix, and I will repot Rhapsody Ingrid into my mix, but not until after Saturday because I'm hoping to use those blossoms in a design. But I just ran out of the second batch of dirt that I mixed up today, and so I'm done. I'm done for the day, because I've got a bunch of other stuff to do. But let's walk on over here and I'll show you the fruits of my labors today. These are all plants that I repotted. They are in a dome that I've left open just to give them a little head start. You know, it's always kind of a shock when you get repotted. This is the tray with all the leaves that I put down. I added some more. Another little short tray that I got that I showed you guys already that I put a few plants in. This is one species plant that I potted and left out just to see how it would do. And again, down here, another tray full of plants that I potted up and again domed just for a little while. These guys are out in the open. These are the plants that I'm hoping, at least a few of these, that I will use in the dish garden that I'm going to make for this weekend. So that's the scoop on Monday night in Chicagoland. I'll be back. Yes, my kitchen looked like that for another week. It looked like that until last Sunday after the Illinois show when I finished getting everything done. And then what I did was, here's the sunroom stand, which is over here to my right. It's hard, I can see it in the monitor. And then in the guest room where all the show plants had been, there were a few plants, that I had moved from here into there, and I took those downstairs to the basement. And so I have two isolation areas now. Here in the sunroom is the isolation area for everything that I bought at National, and in the guest room is the isolation area for everything that went to Illinois. So I want to go and show you the look at what's on the stands. But one thing that I did that I didn't mention is I also I, s- I may have said this, well, I don't think I did, so I'm just going to say it now. And this is important. All those new plantlets that came into my home that I brought home with me from National, I repotted them into my own mix as quickly as I could. Obviously, not all of them were repotted in a very timely manner, but as I was repotting, I use a systemic, and we've talked about this before. It's called Marathon. It's granules, and I use a tiny, tiny bit. I mean, less is more. For any chemical, I think less is more. And I mean, a pinch of Marathon in the new mix, and kind of, shift it in there with a spoon or whatever you use. And then those plants are potted into that, and so they've got that little systemic going on in there, just helping them, making sure that there's nothing bad or nothing wrong, and would help catch anything like that. And the other thing I do when I bring plants home from show is, you'll see when you see them on the stands that they've all been disbudded now, and there's, I didn't bring any blossoms home with me from Illinois. I spray them, and I use something that's no longer available. Unfortunately, it was called Bioganic, and it was available in Southern California, so that tells you how long I've had the can I have. But it's a natural. They have one. They used to have one for flying plants and one for crawling plants, and so I just spray that well above the plants and let it drop down onto them, and then all of those plants went into the guest room, and I'll be keeping an eye on them till well into the winter on their own in there. So I just wanted to share that with you. And so I'd like to take you now and have you take a look at what's on the stands. It's time to take a look. Hi gang, here in the guest room, taking a look at what's on the stands. Most of these are, all of these are the plants that just came back from Illinois. You'll see that I have done some grooming, so you'll see some necks and things that need to be repotted, and all of that will happen when I get a moment to do it. And all the way down there. Let's go down to the basement. Okay guys, here we are in the basement, and you're going to see some things you recognize from other areas in the house, because they're now hanging out down here. There's the Fisherman's Paradise that used to live in the guest room, and quite frankly, if you look down here, here's the Fisherman's Paradise that used to live in the sunroom. This is a Illini Peace, and I've been waiting for this to bloom for a year. It has grown very slowly. It definitely likes it upstairs better than down here. It's a pink semi-double. And I'm kind of glad that it's blooming true, and we'll see how it goes. This is Optimara My Dream, looking good. And here is one of our challenge plants in Cara Lee, Ma's Winter Moon, and it is blooming down here. This is the one that's been down here all this time. And this is everybody else that's just kind of hanging out here. Here's the second shelf. These are mostly species plants, looking pretty good. Here's the Escananthus. And this is the other Ma's Winter Moon that was upstairs. And this is Rhapsody Annie that was upstairs. Let's go take a quick look on the Streptocarpus shelf. Well guys, here we are in the Streptocarpus shelf. This is Radar's Magic, I think. And this is Tensi, nothing going on there. This one hasn't bloomed in a while. I don't know what's up with that. And here's Party Pinafore, just blooming like mad, and I sure wish it would have looked like this last weekend. I would have taken it to Illinois. Let's go up to the sunroom. Here we are in the sunroom. And you can see the damage I did. I'm back up to about 94 varieties, which is actually probably 6 less than I had a week ago. These are plants that were the ones, those last 10 that had not gotten repotted. They're here. And here's another shelf. I'm out of breath because I just hoofed it up the steps. And here's the third shelf. I got a lot of standard trailers this time, guys, really hoping to see how things go. And here are the leaves that I put down. And I lost 3 of them. 3 of them rotted so far. some more of them may rot. You just don't, I always figure that you just don't know how things are going to go. I'll just give you a look from this side. So, all right, that's the look at what's on the stands. I'll be right back. Hi. Well, there's a lot of plants here again, as you can tell. But I think you'll recall that this is pretty standard for National. That's when that's when you want to shop. I do, as you know, believe very strongly in limiting one's collection. However, when you're at National, that's your chance to get varieties that might not be readily available otherwise, to try something new, to perhaps try a species, perhaps try something very old, a vintage, and see how it grows for you. And I think that's really important for us, and particularly if you are a judge. You really need to be growing all different sorts of Gesneriad, African violets and Gesneriads, because you need to begin to build a good base of knowledge of how does this plant grow? Am I familiar with this plant? Have I grown it before? Does it grow that open wagon wheel style, or is it blooming true? These are all things that become increasingly important as you grow and learn and become a judge and keep moving forward in that respect. So it's the one time of the year, kind of like on your birthday when I think you should eat as much cake as humanly possible. That's like the one time of the year I think that you should do that. The rest of the year, no more. But this is the one time. National is really the time when you want to look and see what there is available and think, oh man, I've been looking for that, or gee, I'd like to try that, something different. And I came home with more minis and semis than usual. Again, some of them for the dish garden that I did last week for Illinois. So you'll notice those plants no longer here on the sunroom shelf, but. And my dish garden did go pretty well. It was a blue ribbon and it got a best in class. So I was really pleased because, as you guys know, design, I'm not so good at it. But I had a lot of fun. Well, it's time to get the bail money ready. And I do want to keep kind of barreling through here because this is, after 3 kind of short episodes, this one is substantially longer because of the walkthrough of the show. And I keep running my mouth here. But bail money, I encourage you. I spent all my bail money. It's gone. I spent it at National. So I encourage you to take a look at the AVSA website and see if there is a show coming near you in your area, and see if you can go and take a look and have some fun. Spring shows are starting to wind down, and things will pop back up again. There'll be things throughout the summer, but again, as we head toward fall, then you'll see a lot of fall shows again and have a lot of opportunities to visit and do things of that sort then. So guys, it's time to keep moving forward. And I so enjoyed talking with you today. I'm glad you were here, and I hope you will continue to come back and watch the special episodes throughout the summer. I did get some pretty interesting footage that I'm going to share with you throughout the summer while I was at National. So I hope you'll enjoy that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me today. I hope your days will be filled with all the things you love. Good growing. I'll see you next time.